Alright, and I should be going. Pretty sure this is working. I'll find out soon enough. Hey everybody, what's going on? I'm Zee Garcia, and I'm gonna be answering your questions. So let's take a look here. I got some questions in here already. Okay, cool. I guess I gotta back up. Hola, and then hello in what I assume is Russian. That works too. Oh, that's a good question. Here we go. All right, so I'm going to start knocking these out, people, from the top. Feel free to keep sending me questions, of course. I'm going to be jumping around. There's some stuff I'm going to skip. Just deal with it. Here we go. I know you're a big fan of Onirim, but solitaire play is usually disparaged on the Dice Tower. What are your thoughts on some other solo games? And by the way, let me know if you can hear me and all of that. Good. Okay. So my thoughts on other solo games. I do like solitaire games. It's not my favorite genre or anything like that, but I enjoy it. I enjoy it certainly more than Sam and Tom do. I like that line of games, the Onirim game. That one's by far the best one though. And I like my other favorite solitaire game, I think, is Friday, a tiny little game that Freedom and Freeze put out, which has a couple of neat mechanisms in it. Very simple little game, but it's got a cool deck building aspect to it and resource management kind of thing going on. I really like that one. All right. Z, how did you like the Voyages of Marco Polo? I have not played that one. If you had to throw punch a coworker, who would it be?
Oh, the same dude.
Sam. I have not played Mombasa. If you could pick one book or movie to be made into a board or card game that has not been made, what would it be and why? Let's see here. A book or a movie to be made into a game. I guess maybe I really like Rendezvous with Rama. It's an old Arthur C. Clarke book, and it's largely about these people who intercept an alien ship that's passing near Earth enough to be intercepted by this one crew. And I really like the exploration vibe in the book. I was going to say the movie. In the book, I think that'd make a cool board game, like an exploration board game. I like exploration anyway, and like where you reveal tiles and see what's there you didn't know. You walk into the room and discover something. That'd be a cool theme based on that property to make like a tile laying game based on that. All right. What else have we got here? Board game. Z, at what age did you consider yourself a board gamer? Oh, I don't know. Maybe right out of high school, I think. Like right out of high school, right into college. Right around that time, I was sort of making the switch from the Toys R Us party games to games that were a little more hobby. What's the most challenging part of hosting the Board Game Blender show? I think it's a combination of things. It's coming up with the themes. It's making sure communication is flowing between everyone. Everyone understands when things are due. Everyone understands what the topic of the week is, and it's clearly expressed. And then juggling, hosting my own segments with editing the whole thing together. It's a combination of things. What new Star Wars character do you find interesting? I liked all the new Star Wars characters, really. I think the one I did not anticipate being so thrilled by was BB-8, actually, because I think they imbued a lot of personality into that little robot. That BB-8 blows R2-D2, in my opinion, out of the water as far as being charming, cute, relatable, all of that stuff. I love BB-8. I noticed in a Blender episode you have a copy of Alien in the Legendary series. Which game from Marvel, Alien or Predator, is your favorite? Well, I played the Marvel one, I played the Alien one. The Predator one I still need to play, but the Alien one is my favorite out of the two I have played. Have you ever played Cuba? Yes, I have. That's a pretty decent Euro game. It's a little dry, but and it kind of had like one thing too many. And for me, the one thing too many was the laws that you had to vote into effect. Everything else I enjoyed. Do you play any instruments? I do not. Do you speak Spanish? I do, yes. Z, with your background in theater and your Cuban and Chinese parents, this joke is never going to die. What did you eat for Christmas? What did I eat for Christmas? Shrimp. Shrimp and sausage. It's good, too. What do you think of the resurgence of tile laying games? Do you think it'll be a trend that will continue? I'm not sure if it's quite a resurgence. There were a couple of games that were tile laying games that were really solid this year. I've always liked tile laying games. I think sometimes you have a game that's such a big hit that anything else sort of is scared away for a while. And I think Carcassonne might have been that thing where everybody kind of went, oh, okay, let's kind of step back for a year or two. But I guess as it's not quite its own genre. It just seems like a smaller part of other games. I like tile laying games, and there's some interesting games that have actually, instead of complicating the tile laying genre, have simplified it. Things like the new Lanterns, which takes tile laying and actually makes it even simpler than most games that use the mechanism. And I'm a fan of that. I like that. It's clever. Is the solo version of Hiroshima Hex any good? The solitaire version. I'm not bothered by... I haven't bothered really too much with playing the solitaire version of that. I like Hiroshima Hex as a two-player game, and pretty much exclusively as a two-player game. The three-player game is okay. 4, I think, is just a bunch of luck. It's too swingy. But there's better solitaire games. Like I said, Onirim, Friday. There's better games for that. Z, would you consider doing your top 10 mini games to play during traveling? Yes, I would consider it. Being subjected to play a lot of different games with the Dice Tower, are there any games you ended up really liking that you would never have even considered playing? Probably. I'm sure there's plenty that I would have not gravitated towards and ended up liking a lot. I'll give you one example. The one that's coming to mind now is Automania. I probably would not engage or seek out a game in which I'm building cars. Cars are cool, I just don't have any interest in the car industry. And that game is surprisingly fun, very engaging, really clean design, and I loved it. So that's one right there, but it's a fairly common occurrence. Hi Z, hi KC, and YouTube just jumped way down. I better catch up. All right, where are we at here? How did you meet Tom and Sam? When they moved here to Homestead, and I met them through the game group that was established here. When playing through Pandemic Legacy the second time, were you able to keep the surprises quiet? Yes, I just didn't mention it. And I also allowed my playing partner to make most of those kind of choices that I think would be impactful, since I knew what was coming up. That's the one thing you got to be sort of careful for. You are going to have to take a back seat when it's time to make those choices. Z, what was happening on Periscope last night? Tom was playing some goofy party game, and he had to have his head stuck to the table, and I thought it'd be funny to Periscope it and embarrass him. You like abstract strategy? Have you ever played the old Viking game, and then a word I can't say? Nefertal? I've never played that. I don't know what that is. Hi Z, does Dead Man Tell No Tales got into your favorite 20 games of all time? No. I like it a lot, but no, it's in my top. It's in my top 100 now, though. Hey Z, you've said once you never sleeve your cards. Why? I don't. That's not quite true. I sleeve my cards sometimes if they're very poor quality. If they and start showing wear right away, and that matters, then I will sleeve them. If it's a small deck of cards that gets handled a lot, like the characters in Citadels, I'll sleeve just those cards. But sleeving through, like, you know, everything, and I know a lot of people who buy a game and sleeves. Those things go hand in hand. I like the feel of the cards, and sleeves are an inconvenience that we put up with, at least I put up with, in order to be able to not mark a card or something like that. But normally, no, the cards are fine. If you were able to cast Tom in a Shakespeare play, which role would best suit him? Jeez. I don't know. Puck. Make him Puck. What is the longest, most complicated game you've ever played? That was probably StarCraft, which was about 6 hours. What is your favorite area control game? Probably Mission Red Planet. What was the first music record you ever purchased? Oh, wow. I don't know. I was into soundtracks for a while. Before I got into specific artists, I was getting soundtracks, which was a great way of discovering artists. And but probably after that, maybe REM, some of REM's albums. I really liked their stuff. Is there a Project GIF game you recommend starting with? Yinch probably is the simplest and one of the best also. But I would start with that one, Yinch. And then after that, Czar. Hello, brother. Hello. What games that play around 2 hours or longer do you like? There's a few. Fear of Dracula is probably the longest game that I really enjoy and engages me very much. Did you see the rules that were released for Five Tribes Solo? Thoughts? I saw that it was put out. I haven't read them. Did I read them? I don't think I read it. No, I haven't read them. I saw it. I downloaded it. I just haven't looked at it, but I want to look into it because it's probably neat. I want to check that out. Though I tend to keep my solitaire gaming to something that's smaller, like something I can easily set up, easily play, easily put away. Because if I'm going to take the trouble to set out a really big game, I'll go play a video game or I'll play with someone else. But I want to check that out. Do you enjoy heavy themed games? And what are the best ways to add theme to a game? I'll tell you one way I don't necessarily like theme being added to a game, and that is using a bunch of keywords that people are not familiar with and just make teaching that game a beast. I'm talking about Netrunner, mostly Android Netrunner. But as far as heavily themed games, yes, I like theme. I like games that have a lot going on in the theme. I just don't necessarily like games that have a lot going on in the mechanisms. I don't want a simulation game. I want an abstraction of whatever the real situation is. But heavily themed and abstracted, that's a trick, right? I mean, if you can pull that off, then let me know how. But that's my favorite thing. A game that in its play is simple and its theme is rich. Has there ever been a play you were in that you thought would make a good game? I've never thought that. No, I've never been at rehearsal and thought, you know what, this play would make a pretty good game. Never thought that. I guess there could be some, but I'm not coming up with any right now. It's an interesting breaching of worlds there. Hey Z, my fiance kicks herself for not saying thank you when you liked her Shawshank Redemption shirt. She was glad you liked it. I thought she said thank you, but if she didn't, it's fine. It's cool. Yeah, it was a cool shirt. I liked it. What do you think of Mission Replacement as a 3-player game? I don't know. I definitely prefer it with more. I would go with 5. And there's lots of 3-player games. That used to be a problem area, I think, 3-player games, but I don't think it's an issue anymore. But yeah, 5. Go with 5 if you can help it. Okay. Thank you for the great review of Lanterns. You're welcome. SOS Titanic. I like SOS Titanic Solitaire. It's cool. It's a little more. It hides its roots in straight up card solitaire a little less than other games do. But yeah, I enjoy it. I like the theme. I love that book flipping mechanism. It's really cool. I like that one. It hasn't come out too much, but I dig it. I actually like playing with more players too. SOS Titanic works fine as long as everybody understands you're kind of playing this solitaire thing together. Someone's asking, do you like games? Yes. Thanks for asking. Love you, Z. What is your background? You seem Latino to me. I am Cuban. If you had to pick a lifestyle game, what would it be? Man, I don't know. You mentioned Go, Chess, and Magic the Gathering. From those 3, I'll take Magic the Gathering. Yeah, let's go with that. Magic the Gathering. You have a $50 gift card. Would you buy multiple small games or one board game? That's a good question. I guess it depends what's on my want list at the moment. Right now, I would buy one big game, I guess. There's a couple of games I would like to get, and they are big games right now. What is your vision for Blender in 2016? More of the same, or do you have some ideas for changes? Well, I'd like to... Right now, I'm actually at a stage where I'm gathering rather, new themes for it. And I'm always looking for contributors. I like the idea of segments rotating, especially my own, because I can just make that choice, make that call. And so we're going to be rotating some things in, rotating some things out. I'm very happy with the way the theme-driven shows have been going. So I'm going to continue that for sure. And just basically have all my contributors enjoy what they're doing. That's one of my biggest things when I'm putting the show together is both are people having fun watching it, and is everybody who's contributing having a good time making these segments. I want everybody to do something they want to do. If anybody's doing a segment and they're not happy, or they feel like it's kind of a chore, then we don't do that. If there were a superhero, I guess if I was a superhero, what would be my superpower, and how would you look like? I would look about 60 pounds lighter, and my superpower would be to stop time and start it again, just to mess with people's minds. Do you like finding obscure games nobody ever heard of? I guess I do, yeah. I enjoy both finding something that I feel might have been overlooked and is worth the attention. I think that's, I don't know, I'm giving that game attention, and I like to do that, even if it's just for me, even if I wasn't doing this. But then I also enjoy introducing people to games they might not have heard of. Pulling out a little game, a little card game, whatever it may be, and showing it to them, and them saying, huh, that was actually pretty neat, and I wouldn't have heard of it. We just shared an experience that otherwise would not have happened. I like that, yeah. I've been asked where I'm from like 5 times. I'm Cuban. Okay, so where would I live? Where would I live? I don't know. I really like the weather in San Francisco. I don't know if I'd want to live there, but wherever I would pick to live, would be largely weather-based, I think, because I like it when it's cool. How much would Sam have to give you to get you to play TI3? He would have to give me 5 throat punches. Hey Z, is Dice Tower a full-time job? Yes, it is. What do you think about El Grande and Tammany Hall? Tammany Hall, I've not played. El Grande is fine. It's not one of my favorites. It never was, though, one of my favorites. But I enjoy it all right. I like other games that do the similar area control thing a little better. I think El Grande's theme is beyond boring also. But what is Z short for? My first name. Somebody says, Mega Civilization is a perfect game for you. 12 plus hours of pure fun. How did you meet Tom? We met here in Homestead. I'm getting repeat questions, people. What's up? I don't like Castles of Mad King Ludwig. I have not played Suburbia. Yeah. Hey Z, best advice for amateur game designers. Well, I'm not a game designer. I'm a game, I guess, critic, if you want to call it something. But I guess my main point of advice would be twofold. One, make the game you want to make. Make a game that makes you happy, that you play. Obviously, you're going to get sick of your game, okay? But make a game that you like. And then once you're done with that, making a game you like, then divorce yourself from that game and make sure it's a game that's good. Because just like in writing, like in theater, you are going to make choices that then you are going to be very happy with. And they probably came from a very good place, but at some point someone else is going to tell you, okay, I need you to take this part and throw it away. And you need to be okay with doing that and not love it. Not get married to it. That would be my advice there. All right, let's see. What are you most looking forward to in 2016? Game-wise, I'm going to say Seafall. Otherwise, I don't know, conventions and meeting more people and playing more games and just all of that stuff, going and saying hi to folks, and it's very exciting. It's wonderful. Thoughts on Fallout 4? I have not played yet. Someday I will play, but I am way behind on video games because, well, I just don't have that much time to play video games. What other designer do you think Cathala makes the best games with? And which other designer would you like him to work with? The best designer he works with? I don't know. All his co-designers tend to be very good designers in their own right. The person I would like him to work with the most, Eric Lang, maybe? Cathala and Eric Lang making a game together? That'd be pretty exciting stuff. It jumped. Hold on. Oh man, I am way behind. This is crazy. I'm looking for it. Okay, so somebody's saying, thank you for taking the time, Z. Excuse me. I've seen it mentioned multiple times that you haven't specifically said what your theater background is. Would you elaborate? Teacher, improv, favorite playwright. Okay, so I have a bachelor in fine arts in theater, and I taught with that several years. Taught high school level theater. I've done some amateur theater, some professional theater. Never did too much improv as a, night of improv sort of thing. That wasn't really my thing. As far as favorite playwright, man, I don't know. I really like Neil LaBute. He's very good. There's a lot. Playwrights. All right, what else we got? I organize a weekly board game group, and we have weekly themes for the genre of board games we might play. That's cool. If you could pick a favorite theme for that play night, what would it be? I don't know. I guess I would try to get fancy and be like, about games that, about the evolution of like humanity over the course of just one night. So I would have like a prehistory game, and then into like maybe, I don't know, Vikings, then the Middle Ages, then modern, then a futuristic game. Play with couples, I often find some sort of subtle teaming up with one player playing suboptimally, to benefit the other. This ruins the gaming experience. Yes, it does. Had similar experiences? No. Any advice? Cut it out. I mean, sit them apart. Make sure they're not in the same game. Make it a co-op game. Play only co-op games with them. I don't know. It's very strange, and I don't get it because it's in a game. Maybe they just don't have a hard time sort of keeping it in the game, you know? But try some co-ops, then try a co-op with a trader, and then work them up to fully competitive games. Top 3 worker placement games. Oh man, I don't know. I like Robinson Crusoe. I like wow. See, I knew I had to have BGG open for something, but I'm not gonna look this up right now. Definitely Robinson Crusoe. I like Alien Frontiers, and another one. I can't think of another one. So my favorite 2-player card games, battle card games, okay, that are not CCGs or LCGs. My favorite is probably Blue Moon, or Blue Moon Legends, as it's called now. It's not quite an LCG, but it's almost an LCG. Everything's in that box. I doubt they're coming out with anything else, but it's very LCG-like. But still a simple game. It's a very straightforward game. Sort of combo building, a little bit of combo building. You can build your own decks if you want to, but you absolutely don't have to. That's my favorite, Blue Moon. Let's see. Do you think Libertalia works as a gateway game? I do not. I think there's too many powers on all those pirates. Again, it's those things that I think make people's minds kind of freeze up. Is not rules, it's exceptions to rules. And any game that has a bunch of special powers and characters, the rules are simple, and then there's more exceptions to rules than rules. That I don't think makes a good gateway game. What is my favorite miniature game? I'm not much of a miniature gamer, but if we're calling anything that has a miniature in it a miniature gamer, then I guess Blood Rage is my favorite at the moment. Very solid. It's sort of a nice mixture between a Euro style game and American style game. So I'm going to say that, Blood Rage. If you ended up on a remote island with your gaming group, which game would you bring? Lifeboat. What's your recommendation for great games for 2 players with very limited time? Oh man. How about, I mean, very limited time? You're talking about maybe you can do Brave Rats. It's a tiny little game, takes about 5 minutes. Is it a great game? It's an okay game. It's fun. I think you're going to play it out after you've played a bunch of times, but it's also extremely short. If you're giving yourself a little bit more time than that, Then, two-player game. Lost Cities, that style of game would be fine if you have a little more time. Any of those old Cosmos line of games were pretty, none of them were like more than half an hour or so. What's my favorite theme to play? I like sci-fi. Zombies are fun, it says here. I like sci-fi, and I tend to actually... one time we did a list of... some top 10 list, and I think it was theme-based. And I found out that most of the themes I really liked were real-world settings. Like Pandemic is like a real-world setting. It's a fictitious event, but... it turned out that I liked games set in our world, in generally our time. But next to that, sci-fi, yeah. Who wrote Shakespeare's plays? A lot of people, apparently. What's my favorite army for Hiroshima Hex? I like New York the best. I think they pack the coolest firepower. Do you think Mission Red Planet deserves an expansion? I don't know what they would do with it, but an expansion would be awesome. And do reprints ever really get expansions? Yeah, that's fine. I mean, I could see it happening. I'm just not sure the game's A, going to do well enough to get an expansion even this time around, and B, what they would do with it. Are there any non-board or video games that you enjoy? Pool, darts, shuffleboard. I like pool. I'm really bad at it. And I like darts all right. I just don't play any of these things on a regular basis. But I like games. I mean, I enjoy any activity that is designed for leisure like that style of activity. I probably would like it. I like bowling. How about that? What is your favorite game currently? Pandemic. Some of these questions are way off the wall. What was your occupation before you started working for the Dice Tower full time? I was teaching theater. Have you ever considered designing a board game? Yes, but then I will work on it for a while. I might even get to the point where I'm ready to make a prototype, and then I look around and I go, wait, all these other games are finished. I'll just go play that. Okay, hypothetical. You found Jason's body sprawled all over a game table. What game would he have been playing that would make you say, yeah, saw that coming? Sprawled all over a game table. He was probably playing Cash and Guns, and somebody brought a real gun. And it might or might not have been me. It's probably Sam. Would you recommend Time's Up for a New Year's party? Yeah, absolutely. That'd be a good one. Time's Up, anything silly like that, would go over really well at a gathering of that type. Have you ever cut someone's hair while they were sleeping? Right. Creeper. Would you rather play a game with really annoying gamers or play a game that takes 3+ hours? 3+ hours with buddies is cool with me. Because again, ultimately the game is just a social facilitator, if you would. Do you play Mahjong? I do not. Have you ever played the Red Dragon Inn? I have. I do not like that game. Does Imperial Settlers work as a gateway game and with 3 players? Guys, gateway game? No. It's complex. 3 players, yes. I prefer with 2, but 3 is also good. 4, you're looking at a lot of downtime. Do you play tabletop RPGs? I do not. I played once, Pathfinder, a campaign, I mean. And then we played a few months. The whole party, it was like a total party kill. and then we stopped, and I was like, I'm good. I got out of my system. I'm good. So that was it. If someone would pull out this game, you would start running towards the door. Which game is it? Boomo. Look it up. What Time Stories expansion would you like to see? Now, this is cool. I want to see sci-fi expansions. Now, I know that they're set in the future already, but I want them to jump back to the past just a little bit because I want a futuristic setting. The upcoming one, which is fantasy, I'm hoping it's good, but I'm just not that excited about it right now. It's probably my least favorite genre is fantasy, and this looks to be very vanilla fantasy. Like, there's dragons and goblins and whatever. I don't know if there's goblins, but I know there's dragons because it's in the title. But I'm hoping for a cool sci-fi setting. All right, let's see. Z, what mechanisms do you dislike, and what games do you like despite those mechanisms? I guess I dislike simultaneous bidding, especially in games where you lose your bid anyway. But I still think Fists of Dragonstone is fine. Fists of Dragonstones. I think it's all plural. Yeah. I still like that one all right. There's a couple of others, but that type of game overall is something I don't really like. I really don't like speed games, like slap the table games. I really don't like those. But that catch a pig or catch a dog, catch a whatever, those are okay also. What is going on with these questions? Why don't you like longer games as much as shorter games? Because I like the idea of packing a lot of fun and a lot of experience into a shorter time. I don't mind. Again, I'm not necessarily opposed to spending the time gaming. I just don't want to be stuck doing the same thing for a long time. And I've yet to find the game that is 6 hours and the evolutionary arc of those 6 hours is as fun as actually playing different games, which is probably impossible. I get that. I would have to relearn rules for this mythical game every 1 hour or so. But the first hour compared to the 5th hour is probably too similar for me to still be having fun. All right, let's see. What's your favorite Pixar movie? The Incredibles is my favorite, and then after that, maybe Finding Nemo. Ta-da-da. What do you think about the new Star Wars? It's awesome. I love it. It could very well be my favorite Star Wars movie. That's how much I liked it. Canary Islands has 18 to 28 degrees centigrade all year long. I'm on my way. Do you like Bottom of the Ninth? I've not played that one yet. Oh no, it jumped. Okay, hold on. Hold on, here we go. Zarkles, calm down. Here's your shout out. Calm down. You're coming across like a bully. Chill out. Alright, do you play any video games? Yeah, I do. I tend to like RPGs, like American style RPGs. Wow, man. I'm going to have to do another one of these. Guys, I can't keep up with these questions. Favorite iOS games? I'm hoping you mean board games that have an iOS version. If so, then Neuroshima Hex is my favorite. Okay, Star Wars questions again. Da da da. I already read that. Okay. Do you enjoy Neuroshima Convoy? I do. The new version has text now instead of just symbols, and I am much happier with that.
We got 100,000 views in one day. I'm very excited.
That was.
Come on, you gotta work it in, bro.
I'm a little terrified. I think my pulse is going. Do you think Matt Leacock has more room to explore the pandemic universe? Yes, absolutely. I also don't want him to feel like he's stuck in that world, but I think there's a lot to be done there, actually, and not just with changing up the form of delivery, as in like Pandemic the Cure was dice now. I think that there is more just to explore in that world. The expansions have done a ton of that, but even Pandemic Legacy is a great indication that there is more to be done with that theme, in that setting, in that world. Okay, let's see. Da-da-da. I'm very excited for Seafall. I said that, yes. Don't know that. Da-da-da. Favorite city building game? Huh. City building is not actually a genre I necessarily like, but if you count things like Carcassonne and things like that, then I might say Alhambra is technically a city building game. But the ones where you have to really be like, okay, well, this side has to match this side because of this, and then you can only play these things next to these other things, I don't tend to like those restrictive sort of city building games. Alhambra I like a lot. Carcassonne I like a lot. All right. Am I caught up here yet? Let's see here. Da-da-da. Da-da-da. I'm attracting all sorts of weird people. This doesn't bode well. Here we go, a legitimate question. Hi, Z. Do you think a great theme can make a bad game good? Huh. No. I think if the game is bad, that means you did not have fun with it. That's all bad means, okay? Because it's a toy. And if you are saying it is bad, that's your opinion, just like when I say something's bad, it's my opinion. Please don't make me have to say it in every video, by the way. And if you are saying make a bad game good, no, a great theme might make a game that I thought was alright better because I like that theme, and if you would change it on me, I'd like it less. But if I disliked a game, theme is part of that. If I thought that was bad, then no, the theme doesn't make it good. Have you played Asking for Troubles? Thoughts? Yes, I like it a lot, actually. It was pretty cool. What games are you hoping to play at next week's live gaming? I got nothing on the agenda, really, but I know we're going to hopefully be playing a lot of things that are, visually engaging, they're fun, they're things that we all like, stuff like that. It's kind of what we're shooting for. All right. Which one do you prefer to play? Jaipur versus Witness versus Seven Wonders Duel. Those three are particularly different, especially Witness, which is a 4-player and 4-player only game. But I guess I like Seven Wonders Duel the best, then Witness, because it is so unique and cool, and then Jaipur, which I also like, but compared to those two powerhouses, it comes in third. New York 1901 current thoughts. I still like it. I still think it's a solid family weight game. Looks great, easy to teach. That could be an intro game, a good gateway game. Do you like the legacy system or the time stories system better? That's a good question. That's a tough question. I guess I like the legacy system itself better, but it also consumes itself more thoroughly than the time story system. Because that one I can package back up again and give it to someone else. They can play it. Versus a legacy style game, once I'm done with it, nobody else can do anything with it because it is truly finished. I've used it up. Oh, here we go. OMG, that sound scared me. This was when you made that sound a while ago.
Sorry.
Rest in peace, Tom, somebody said. All right. I'm going to start from the bottom here because that's it. I hate your computer, Tom, because it scrolls backwards. Oh, I told you that?
Shut up.
What are your top 2 player games of all time? Oof. Okay, I already mentioned Blue Moon Legends. I like Jambo a ton. If you want something newer, Seven Wonders Duel, Raptor, both amazing games. What reprints are you waiting to happen? Man, there's not a lot of reprints that have not come out that I'm sort of really jonesing for. I guess I'm going to say, what's the Alea game that came out in English and kind of vanished? And it has like a Scottish setting. It's a green cover. I forget what it is. It's not Walnut Grove, even though I want to say Walnut Grove. It's not that one. Somebody knows, just write it in. That one. I want that to come back in English. The Dice Tower has given their stamp of approval for the game Deception. Your thoughts on the game? I think it is brilliant. I really enjoy it. It does that whole deduction, talking your way out of stuff, figuring things out together right. It nails that, really, I thought. What do you think about the recent attempt to thumb down, I guess you meant, Pandemic Legacy on the Geek? I think it is a sad misuse of time and energy. If at convention room you see 2 gaming tables, one with your favorite game and another with a new game, which one will you choose? Well, if the new game looks decent, I want to go play that. Because I love the experience of trying something new. I love discovering new things. And hey, for all I know, that game I've never played is going to be my favorite game. Probably not, but it could happen. All right, what else have we got here? I'm going to maybe take a couple. Glenn Moore, that's the game. Glenn Moore, thank you, Megan. Appreciate it. I'm going to take a couple more questions here, folks, and that will be that. Hey, Z, I know you love artwork / components. What game do you think has the best of all time? Whew, that's a question and a half there. The best artwork of all time? You guys are killers. I'm not sure. This year has a lot of really good artwork. It's probably going to be something esoteric because it'll have meaning for me. I really don't know. I like games that all look congruent, as in everything looks like it's from the same artist. So I really like the look of, say, Ashes, Rise of the Phoenix board, because it's all from, I think her name's Fernanda. That artist, she does all the illustrations for the people, and every deck looks the same. So love that. What deduction game do you play the most? Deduction game. I don't play deduction games the same one a lot. I like Code 777 a lot. That was like a little bit of a simpler deduction game that does not require the players to do anything but figure stuff out. You don't have to come up with the questions, how to phrase things. You can just flip the card and read what it says and then start puzzling stuff out. I like that. I like Hanabi a lot. I guess you could call that deduction-ish. I like those kinds of, like, put together a little puzzle kind of games versus put together a huge massive puzzle, and if you make a little mistake the whole thing crumbles. I prefer the little puzzle ones. What's your favorite game that has just terrible art or production? I don't know, because I probably forgot it because it's in the back of a shelf somewhere because it's ugly. All right. Let's see. Let's find one more good one. Let's see. Anything similar to the Mystery Rummy series for folks who enjoy classic card games but now require more meat. Classic card games. I'm assuming you're not talking about something like Ticket to Ride, which is largely rummy-ish. You want something that feels like a classic game. How about, I'm going to go out on a limb and I'm going to say Five Tribes, because it's based on the classic Mancala mechanism of picking something up and then dropping them off. If you've played Mancala, you are going to save yourself some teaching trouble learning this game. Five Tribes. We're going from, Mystery Rummy to Five Tribes. That's a serious jump, but it feels, aspects of it feel classic, and then it's got all of this new stuff on top of it. Check that one out. If this is sort of what you're looking for, check that out. All right, I think I'm going to shut this bad boy down. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Thank you for your questions. I hopefully entertained you and or enlightened you. I doubt I did the second, but hopefully I did the first. And that's going to be it for me. Thanks, everybody. I will see you online at some point, and I'm going to stop this thing. Do I hit stop streaming? I did it.